Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So how embarrassing must it be to stand in front of the camera thinking that you have not only the support of your colleagues, but the support of the entire country, because all of the polls and all of the data and all of the information that has been fed to you suggests one thing, while in reality it's completely different. So today we're going to talk about what happened to Newsom's 28th Amendment. So let's get to it.
Convening a constitutional convention requires 2/3 of the states to call for this. California will be the first.
Right.
Hey, real quick, if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really helps us out here quite a bit, and it helps us spread our message as well. That little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out, so you can always stay up to date on what's going on with your rights. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in and talk about what happened to Newsom's 28th Amendment and why did all of his colleagues bail on him. Now, when he first announced the 28th Amendment, it was this big deal. He came out with this fancy video that had fancy editing and all sorts of statistics that made it seem like everyone in this country was on his side. I mean, we're talking about statistics like having 87% support for background checks, 81% support for raising the minimum age, 77% of the country wants waiting periods, and 61% of the country wants to ban what they consider to be assault rifles for civilians. I mean, these were numbers that made it seem like overwhelmingly the 28th Amendment is exactly what this country wants. Well, if that's exactly what this country wants, why didn't it go anywhere? I mean, you and I all knew that the chances of something like this actually making it all the way through were less than zero. I'm going to say negative 1 billion%. But even though you and I knew that, it seemed like his confidence was still at 100% while he continued to campaign for his 28th Amendment. Now, he needs 2/3 of the state legislatures in order to make that happen. And guess what? Nobody is going for it. Not even the other governors who run their states very similar to his. I mean, take a look at New York, where they have a majority in the legislature. Take a look at Illinois, where they have a majority in the legislature. Other states that have the ability to do what he did are still not taking it up. Now, there's several reasons for this, but one of the main reasons is they know that if they call a constitutional convention and all of the states get together, they also have the ability to put things on the agenda. That means that it wouldn't just be the 28th Amendment that ends up being voted on by all of the states. It would be every agenda that every state wanted to bring forward to that convention. So essentially, even if they were able to call this and all the states got together, it would end up being this massive hodgepodge of different states trying to put things forward. And right now, as we stand right now, a vast majority of the states are actually conservative, and a vast majority of the states have passed constitutional carry, which means that very likely his 28th Amendment would actually be struck down, and you could end up seeing more support for the Second Amendment be added to the Constitution if that were to actually happen, which it's not. But they notice that these other governors, these other states, they see that they are basically on the losing side of history should this actually happen. So they've decided to back off. I mean, they've bailed on it completely. There's been no votes in any legislature. No states have come out and openly support it where the legislature has voted to say that we have supported it. I mean, it is just wildly unpopular amongst everybody. Now, another reason I think he went forward with this, even though the only people that seem to support it are the people in his own legislature, is because of the Bruin Decision. The Bruin Decision simply reaffirmed rights that had previously existed, rights that existed before the Constitution even. And so what happens with that is a lot of these gun control laws that currently exist in the state of California are being overturned left and right. We're having district court judge after district court judge place injunctions and say that these laws are unconstitutional, and now they're going up to the Ninth Circuit. And even though the Ninth Circuit is doing their absolute best to try and side with the state of California, they know that if they ever make it up to the Supreme Court, that's going to be the end of it right there. So he's going to be seeing some pretty big losses in court moving forward because of the Bruin Decision. the 28th Amendment, even though he knows it's not going to go through. The 28th Amendment is his way of saying we need to stop this. I don't like the Second Amendment. I don't like that it stops me from passing the laws that I want to pass. And I don't like that the courts are now forcing me to obey the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. I don't want that in my way. He doesn't like that that is a brick wall in his way to disarm the population. He's not able to go up it. He's not able to go around it. It's standing in his way currently. And what does he want to do? Well, he wants to make his own amendment that would simply tear that wall down. Now, the next reason to me is even more obvious, and that's just the grandstanding. To get your name out there, to try and be more popular, to have people talk about you. Because when you do something that is as far out there as that, you're going to have every single news station across this entire country put your picture on the TV and start talking about what you want to do. And it gets maybe a little bit more support from those people that wear red and orange shirts. I mean, other than that, I don't really see another reason to do this unless maybe you have some higher aspirations that you've just been holding off in the background there. So I wanted to make this video today because in the very beginning, it was the 28th Amendment that was such a big deal and what people were talking about and the statistics in the video and so forth. But now the big topic of the day is the failure to enact a 28th Amendment. As a matter of fact, there's multiple news sources and people are talking about it on Twitter. People are talking about it on Bearing Arms. There's actually quite a few news outlets now that are talking about the utter and absolute failure to initiate that 28th Amendment and the lack of support from the colleagues as well. So I thought I would share that with you and see if I could get your guys' opinion on it down in the comment section. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.